You guys are not going to want to miss this amazing Dollar Tree hack for seed starting. Stick around. Okay, you guys, we are at the Dollar Tree and we are going to be doing a DIY today. We're going to be making some seed starting trays. And you can use this if you don't have access to buy anything online, maybe you don't like to shop online, or you're just trying to save yourself some money. There are 3 different types of containers that I use when I'm doing this method, but the container that we're going to use today is the Tupperware containers. You can find those in the kitchen section in your Dollar Tree. The containers that we're going to get are probably like an inch, inch and a half deep. There's a size up from this that's probably like 2.5 inches deep that you can get as well. But honestly, this is the perfect size for what you're needing to do. Now, I am going to buy 10 of these containers so that we can make 5 seed starting trays. I was wanting to do 10 of them, but for some reason, I just grabbed 10. I guess I wasn't really thinking this day. But anyway, now we have these containers, which is what we're going to use for our DIY. But I do want to show you the other options that I use if you don't have these specific containers at your store, because I know it's different at every Dollar Tree. So you may not have these specific ones, but you might have these others. Now, right here, I'm trying to show you the kitty litter boxes. My store was out, but you can use the kitty litter boxes in the same way that we're going to use these Tupperware containers. You can also use these dish pans. This is something I use as well if you don't have access to the other things at the Dollar Tree. Seed starting can get very expensive once you look into not only seeds, dirt, containers that you have to start your seeds in, containers that you need to bump your seeds up into once they start getting bigger, fertilizer, tags, markers. It can get expensive pretty quick. I have a trick here that will end up saving you a lot of money. The seed starting trays that I have are from Amazon. They're great. They've lasted me 2 seasons thus far, and they are very affordable. I will link those in the description box. However, those are $35 for 10 seed starting trays. This Dollar Tree hack is, I think it ended up being like $12.50 or something like that for 10 seed starting trays. So now if you look at the size, which is important because you do want to get as many seeds in there as possible, you know, just for space reasons, if you know that happens to be a concern, which it does end up being a concern unless you have a lot of space. I'm just telling you that right now. So this is the seed starting trays that I use from Amazon. Like I said, I'll link them down below. This is the tray from the Dollar Tree. So there isn't that big of a difference. What is it, like an inch, maybe? Now let's go over what I have. So I have my seed starting mix already in the container that I use for seed starting. And that seed starting mix is just the Jiffy kind that you can get at Walmart. I think it's like $5.44 or something like that. And then these are the containers that I got from the Dollar Tree. So they come with a lid, and they come with a lid, so you can close them like that. Now, with quality seed starting trays, you're going to get quality seed starting trays, okay? Not every set that you buy might have this. You're going to have humidity dome, the place where you actually put the seeds in the dirt, and then a place to bottom water. We have 10 containers, like I said. So doing it the way that we're going to do it, using 1 for dirt, 1 for bottom watering, we're going to have 5 starts here. And then 5 lids for the humidity dome.
Now, the only thing that we're going to need to do to these before we start filling them up with dirt is for the part that is going to have the dirt and the seeds in it, we need drainage holes. So there are numerous ways that you can do this, okay? You can use a drill with a drill bit, drill it through. You can also just use a box cutter and cut slits is what I like to do. So just slits, slits, slits. That's what I do on my cups when I have to pot things up. So that does work. You can use a screwdriver, you know, jab it through there. I'm just going to use the drill today because it's going to be quicker. But like I said, you don't need a drill. Screwdriver, scissors, box cutter, anything, knife will work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 of these and stack them on top of each other. So it's 2, 4, 5. And that still leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we got 5 stacked on top of each other. There's actually holes. Not holes, but circles on this. So that might be where I drill the holes actually. So I'm going to go ahead and take the drill and go as easy as you can because they might crack. Okay, the second hole went much better, so let's continue. Maybe I shouldn't. We have the holes drilled. A lot of them cracked, which is not a big deal. Like I said, I cut slits in my cups and stuff. So as long as the dirt can stay in this, we're good. All of this is just for water to seep in. So it can moisten our dirt and feed our little plants. So we got the one with the holes in it, no holes. We're going to set them on top of each other. So then we have the ability to put water in this, set our plants on top of it, and bottom water our seedlings. So next we're going to fill these up with dirt. The plants that I'm going to put in these trays for me is going to be wildflowers. So I have a wildflower shade area, hummingbird, pollinators, and flower garden mix. So I'm going to put these, I'll probably just mix them together. I don't really care that much about that. I'm going to do these in their own, or at least marked off. They are wildflowers, but these are perennials. So we all know perennials will come back the next year, right? Okay, so I have moistened our dirt. So we can get the water out of the way. Now, here, we are going to fill up our first tray. It doesn't take much. Okay. You don't want to make it very compact, but you do want to pat it down a little bit. And now that we have the dirt in this tray, I'm going to go ahead and fill up my other trays so we can get started planting. Okay, everyone, so we have our trays filled. Now, I'm going to take my first tray and spread it out a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to take my first tray, and the first thing that I'm going to throw in here is my strawberries. I'm so excited about my strawberries. I know I told you guys that you're supposed to really start your strawberries like between week 13 and week 15, and we're on like week 5 or something, but I'm still going to do them, And here's why. Normally with strawberries, they come back. Normally, your strawberry patch will stay working. So, I'm going to do mine so I can get some established, even if I don't get anything from them this year. Now, these are all the packs that I have. I have four packs. And this was really only half of the tray. So I didn't think I would have room for my other thing of strawberries, but I do. I have some Yellow Wonder strawberries. I don't even know how many. There's just like 20 seeds in this. So let's do those also. And put them over here. Oh, there ain't a thingy. Strawberry seeds are so small. So small. I got these from In My Gardener. I get a lot of my seeds from In My Gardener, and the strawberries, the regular strawberries, I got from Seed Therapy. Just seedtherapy.com. This is the first time I've ever used Seed Therapy, so hopefully they're good quality. In My Gardener, I've used these for the past 3 years. They have great quality seeds and they're very affordable. So let's spread these a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be wild when this comes up. I still have like a little section right here that doesn't have anything in it. So let's see what I want to put there because I don't want to waste the space. Okay, so since we have the space, I'm going to go ahead and do this little corner over here as the kiwi gooseberries. And it's not going to be a big deal if there's some on this side or some on that side. I have a app that I use that can identify the plants for me if worse comes to worse and I need that. These seeds are much bigger than the strawberry seeds. I'm just going to do one pack of those and keep this other one. I'm not even sure what these are. I didn't pay for those. So I really don't even know what they are. Honestly, I'll have to look it up. But it sounds cool. Kiwi gooseberries. Okay, so this is what we ended up working with. This is regular strawberries. This section right here are the Yellow Wonder strawberries. And this section right here is the kiwi. Now our next tray, I'll go ahead and do the celery. I've never had success growing celery. Just to share that with you guys. I didn't try to grow it the first year. Second year I did. I didn't get any germination. And now I'm hoping that we can get some celery this year. So I have 2 different kinds of celery. I got tender crisp celery from Seed Therapy. And I have some Utah celery from last year. I don't remember where I got that from, but I also got another pack from Seed Therapy. So we're going to do these 2 varieties of celery, and hopefully we'll get us some celery this year. This is late too, by the way. I forget when you're supposed to plant celery, but it should have happened like way sooner. And this is with my winter stuff, so this should have been 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do this. The next thing that I'm going to put in these trays are the wildflowers. I had this idea last year to do this, and I didn't do it. I tried to find someone that had tried it previously, like tried it online, and I couldn't find anyone that tried it this way, and this way just makes sense in my head. It's wildflowers, so I feel like they should be casted rather than put in singular holes. And I couldn't find anyone that had done this online and showed the results. I seen one person say they were going to do it, but they didn't never tell us if it worked. So we're going to see if it works this year, because I'm going to do it. So I have the perennials. I'm going to set those aside and just try to do these. Now, these came from the Dollar Tree. You can get them at the dollar store, probably either of them. This isn't all seeds. This is also like dirt. So just know that this isn't all full of seeds. It's like a blend of like the seeds and like dirt and stuff, whatever. And I don't really care about these being together or not together, except for the shade ones. I might do those separately so I know, but as far as like everything else, I don't really care. And one bag of that filled like the entire thing, but like I said, not all seed. It's also like dirt, sand, whatever. So I am going to put this on top of this because I don't think it's going to be a big deal where it's blended, because I don't see like seed everywhere. And what I plan on doing with this, if it's not really clear, is I'm going to separate them once they start germinating, and put them in their own individual things. So I'll just separate everything out of this. So those are the ones that I'm going to put in this, and I'm going to go ahead and cover them with some dirt. We have the last tray done, and the way that I did these, obviously I did big sections, but you guys don't have to do it that way. You can poke your holes and just fill it in that way, but with the type of things that I planted, it's easier if they were like cascaded over a large area. So that worked out for me perfectly. Okay, you guys, so I have all of my trays filled up for what I needed them for. I did end up being 5 trays in total. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this. This is an option for someone that is trying to be budget friendly or just easier to access. Like I said, the trays that I get off of Amazon. Not everybody has the ability to order stuff online, and this is right at your local store. So this is easier in that respect. It is budget friendly. It's a nice alternative, and a lot of people like to do stuff like this more so than buying things that have just one specific purpose. So that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, I did use a lot of these last year, and it really did help with the kind, depending on what you're trying to plant. You could also do onions and shallots would be good this way, the exact method that I did. But like I said, you can use these just for your regular seed starting trays and poke holes. Put your labels on there the same way that you would anything else. If you guys want, I can do a tray like that. It's not really what I needed them for, but if you guys just want to see that, it is something that I can do for you. Okay, there you have it. We have everything done. I'll give you guys a little close-up of the trays since they are finished. If you guys have any questions, let me know. In the description box, I will link the trays from Amazon that I use. if you guys are interested in those as opposed to the Dollar Tree hack that we have here. If you have any questions, let me know. I will see you guys soon. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep living. Bye.